He didn't always say I love you, but somehow we knew.
My dad is not a very emotional person, right? But he would always show you how he feels through his actions. A second job experience, actually, it was at Lagos Island. I'd been to Lagos Island before, but I didn't really know. And if you know me, I'm very bad with directions. Like, I don't have a good sense of direction. I have to go to somewhere multiple times before I get the place, right? So what my dad did for me was that he actually drew a map. Like he sat down, took his time, drew buildings, drew the roads, drew arrows for me to say, okay, this is where I'm going to pass. When you get to UBA, he drew the UBA headquarters and I showed me, okay, this is where you're going to pass, this is where you're going to go. You take your right and until you get to your office. So I kept that paper in my bag for a very long time, even after I had known like the way, it still was in my bag. I remember when I gained admission into the University of Benin, right? Now I'd applied to study law and I got philosophy. My dear father took it upon himself to go and challenge University of Benin. Like I was literally meeting strangers and he's like, oh hi, can you direct me to the VC's office? I need to speak to them about my daughter. She passed well, she should have been given law, but she got philosophy. How did that happen? And then he spent like an entire day in Benin doing that.
Growing up, I always thought my dad could solve any issue. Broken toys, scraped knees, bad days from school. He always had a solution for it. However, growing up, I sort of realized that he didn't really have a solution for everything, but he just made himself available. He didn't always say I love you, but somehow we knew. Love looked like lights on during NEPA nights, school fees being paid even before salary dropped. Like giving me the last piece of meat in his egusi soup. I remember when I got my first job, he just nodded and gave me his old watch. No speech, no drama. But somehow, I felt 10 feet tall. He didn't always say I love you, but he built it. Brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice. So this is his retirement, one of his days in the office, and he's a very outgoing person. So you have this here. Today, I see him clearer. Not just as my father, but as a man who did his best with the little he had. To all the men who taught us love without ever saying the word, Happy Father's Day.